Hospital Porter's Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order. Welcome to Herpanwo TV. Right, back with Flight Simulator again. Now, I'm sure most of you have seen my video entitled Janet Flight to Area 51. If you haven't seen it, you can go back and watch it because it's very interesting. And in this flight, on the Flight Simulator program, we recreate a Janet plane's flight from the secret terminal at Las Vegas Airport to Area 51. Now, if you remember in that video, lots of very strange things happen. We encounter two types of anomalous objects. One of them is an experimental aircraft, and the other is a UFO, something otherworldly. Now, as you, of course, this is not real. It's just a game. But the game is made by the Microsoft Corporation, which, as you probably are aware, is owned by Bill Gates. Now, this led me to wonder whether there was maybe something a bit more than just fun and entertainment involved in this computer game. Computer games are a big subject, and I don't play many of them, so maybe you probably, if you play more of them, you're one of these gamer people, you probably more qualified to comment on this subject than I am. But you know, Bill Gates is more, you know, of course he's an electronics engineer and software designer, the most successful one in the entire world. But he's more than that. He's also a political and environmental activist, and you can see a lot of his work online in the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and he does talks at the TED Talks conference and things like that. Now, his activism takes a very, very conventional form, and contains what I think are very, very dangerous delusions, which he seems to promote. One of those is he believes in the overpopulation myth, and I've made a video about the overpopulation myth. I'll put a link in the description box. And also he believes that, you know, that carbon dioxide emissions cause climate change. Again, I don't think this is the case. Now, someone like him, a lot of people have suspected that he knows more than he's letting on. He's not just saying these things and believing they're real, but he's actually in the know. Now, if that's the case, you know, maybe maybe that in that business at Area 51 on that mission called Secret Shuttle is not just fun and entertainment. There's actually some hidden message in there. Because we all know that the Illuminati love to leave us sort of these little hidden messages and things, which I've discussed in my other videos. Now, after doing the Area 51 flight, it got me thinking: does Bill Gates know more about other elements of the world, which he's also encoded into this computer game, which is Microsoft Flight Simulator 10? And the answer is yes, he does, I think. And I will show you now exactly why, and I will demonstrate it just like I did last time. You have to come and get closer because you need to get closer to the cockpit. Oh, I nearly forgot to put my pilot's hat on. Right, you see hope you can see the cockpit and see what I can. Okay, and this is the cockpit view again, just like in the last Flight Simulator game we played. Now, I'm at a different airport this time. I'm at the airport I'm at. It's called the airport I'm at is actually called Hammerfest, which is in the far north of Norway. Now, Norway is in the news a lot at the moment for very, very tragic reasons. The terrible massacre that happened there last weekend. The reason I've picked this airport, Hammerfest in Norway, is because it is the most northerly airport in the world. And the reason the reason I picked it was just because I want to get the most northerly airport in the world, because I want to get to the North Pole, and you'll see why when we get there. I'll just show you where I am on the map. And there we are. This is, as you see there, that is Norway. And there we are there. There's Hammerfest. So I'm going to take off and I'm going to head north. Right. Pause off. Okay. This is, by the way, I'm using a different aircraft. The aircraft I'm using is this one, which is a Bombardier CR 700. It's a slightly easier to control aircraft than the one I had before. There's the gear view. So, with no further ado, I shall open the throttle, and I'll set the flaps first. I'll need quite a lot of flaps for this because it's quite a bit of a steep haircut. So I'm going to set in 30 degrees of flaps, open the throttle, and away we go. It's quite a short runway, which can cause some problems. Got to make sure I have plenty of speed so I can. And there's also that terrain ahead, so I've got to put up a very, very fast rotation angle. There we are. Oh, that's okay. Gear up. Come on, keep my nose up there. As you can see, we're taking off quite nicely. Beautiful landscape in northern Norway. The local time is actually about 1 o'clock in the morning, but it's midsummer and the sun never sets in Hammerfest right through the middle, for a couple of months, right through the middle of the summer. Let's take the flaps up now. There we are. Right, I'm going to set the autopilot. Switch that off. Speed. Altitude. Heading north. Currently heading, it's going to set the heading due north. Auto throttle on, and away we go. There we go, it's turning nicely. Bombardier CR 700. Right, well, it's going to take me a few hours to get to the pole. I'm going to have to fly there. I might use a time compression to try and slow it, to speed up time a little bit. Anyway, you can either rejoin me or you can wait. Actually, I'm going to cheat. Let's go to the map. It's a very simple thing you can do here. Right, I can just drag just go out to full view, and I can cheat a little bit. I'm sure you can't do this when you go on holiday. I'm going to move the cursor to there. Right, well, so we're now, so you look at the heading, it's 82 degrees north. So we're very, very close to the pole. I might have to do another move when we get there to show you what I mean. Okay, just takes a little while to warm up. Right, here we are. Now it's important, I'm going to turn off go to the open view screen, get rid of the basic 6, and as you can see here, we're now at the pole. Very, very hard to judge altitude. I'm going to actually take at the moment I'm heading up to like a really high cruising altitude. I'm going to bring that down because I want to stay below the clouds. So I'm going to go to just about 4,000 feet. So I stay below the cloud level. That's it. The first thing is very obvious. It's the landscape is featureless, as the North Pole would be. The plane is flying normally at the moment, or so it seems. Look at the map. Oh, no, it's not doing it yet. I'm going to go a little bit further north, actually. See, there's that big green line along there. Now, what's that all about? We shall see. I'll get a bit further north. Right. Plane's flying normally. We're at 4,400 feet. About 267 knots. Now then. Plane's still flying normally. Let's go a bit further north. We're at 87 degrees there. Let's go to... Let's get even further north. There we are. We're at 88 degrees. So just two degrees of 2 degrees of latitude away from the North Pole. Pretty soon you should be getting some strange effects appearing. Again, same altitude, same speed, same course. I'm actually going to change the course slightly. This is where strange things often happen. Because we're actually about 10 degrees off, because you see there we're at 350 degrees, we should be at 0, 0, 0, 0. Now, let's look at the map. Immediately something strange is happening. If you look at there, you'll see that although the aircraft here, you see, is actually flying sideways. Let's see if we can see it on the screen. I mean, it looks normal on there. On this journey to the North Pole. What's going on? It's flying sideways. The plane is flying sideways. Let's go a bit further north. We're now above 89 degrees north. So we're very, very close to the pole, less than a degree of latitude away from the pole. Again, looks normal, a plane flying normally. Now we have this anomaly. It's flying sideways. Let's watch this. I'm going to try and land the plane. Okay, so I'm going to come down and take the autopilot off. And I'm going to drop. Now the strange thing, first thing you need to realise is you can't, I'm coming down, you see the speed going, you can't reduce speed. I've got the throttle right off and it's not reducing speed. I'm reducing altitude using the joystick there, see? Using the manual controls, but I can't reduce speed. I'll better pull up a bit. Whoa, that's a bit. Right, I'm at 2,000 feet. Now I'm going to put the flaps right down now. To reduce speed, try and reduce speed as much as possible. So I've got the flaps now at 45 degrees, and that noise means I've put the flaps down when we're going too fast. Now finally the altitude is coming down, the speed is coming down a bit, but it won't go down too far. I'm going to go down a bit further, and I'm going to try and land. Put the gear down. Right, still at 220 knots. Now look what happens if I try and land, right? This is the spotter view, it's a bit easier to see on the spotter view. It's very, very hard to judge distance because the problem is that there's a featureless terrain because it's just a pole. But I'm going down now, I'm going down fast. Now normally this would result in a crash. Look what happens, it just bounces. Bounces. I'm going to nosedive in at the ground. Bump! What's going on? And I'm going side now, I'm going sideways, see? Now isn't that weird or what? That's very strange. Put the brakes on. I'm going sideways. I'm sort of slewing across the ground. See if I can actually slow the aircraft straight down. I can't, see? It's really slowing down slowly. Right. That's enough of that. Exit. End flight. So, what's going on here? is Bill Gates trying to tell us that all is not as it seems at the North Pole? That's the impression I have to get to, and I mean it's a real shame, you know. I don't have the Flight Simulator 2002 edition, right? Because I was hoping it would be the same on this one, but it's not. On the 2002 Flight Simulator, you actually go up to the pole, and you come across a wall. There's like a wall around the pole at 85 north. So literally, there's like a 10-degree wide circle around the pole, surrounded by a wall, which is around about 12,000 feet in altitude, and you can't see over the top of it. It reminds me very much of a story by Arthur C. Clarke, a famous science fiction writer, called The Wall of Darkness, which is about an imaginary planet in a universe with just a single star, and the planet's divided in two by this wall of darkness, and the people in the story have to try and get over this wall. Now, I'm not one of these people who believes in the hollow earth theory, you know, that there's holes and you go in there and it's in the sun and things like that. That to me doesn't make any sense. But there is something very, very strange going on at the poles of the planet, and the Illuminati know about it, and they're restricting access to it, to people. I mean, travelling around the poles is travelling to the poles, what you and I, either the North Pole or the South Pole, is extremely difficult. I mean, partly this is due to the environmental reasons. You know, the climate, of course, is extremely cold, and the lack of infrastructure, transport, things like that. But also, there's a very, very strong military presence at the poles. Military bases at the Arctic and Antarctic, large numbers of personnel stationed there. There's a guy I met once. I'll tell you about him at some point on another video. It's a long story, but he was a soldier who fought in Antarctica. Apparently there was a war in Antarctica, and he fought there, which I'll tell you about later. But my general point is that maybe Bill Hicks, you can't imagine two more difficult people than Bill Gates and Bill Hicks. Maybe Bill Gates knows something about this, and he is encoding it into the games for either maybe to give us subtle little clues so he can take the piss out of us, or because he has, you know, the Flight Simulator has to model the Earth, yet it's not possible to model the Earth accurately. I mean, why can't you just have the poles as normal? You just fly over them, as we're supposed to be able to do. It's an interesting question to think about. Anyway, that's it for now. I shall come back later if I find more information. Thank you for watching Japanwo TV. Hospital Port's Pride and Dignity. Stop the New World Order.